Hello friends, and welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk about how to actually use your crystals. I'm always talking about different kinds of crystals and how crystals are formed and what crystals can do for you. But if you're a beginner, you might be wondering, well, how do I actually use them? Like, what do I do with them once I have them? So I am going to talk today about some methods that you can use to incorporate crystals into your life so you can actually get their healing benefits. And of course, if you don't use crystals for their healing properties, that is totally fine. If you just buy crystals because you like the way they look, then that's great too. You don't have to use them for their properties. But if you do want to use them for their metaphysical properties and want to know how, just keep on watching. And before we start, be sure to subscribe and like the video. And if you happen to like any of the crystals that I have sitting behind me, you can find them at my website, cosmicgeology.com. And you can use code YouTube at checkout for a little discount as a thank you for supporting my channel. Also, if you are watching this video, be sure to check out my website because I am going to have all of this information that I'm talking about today in a website article on cosmicgeology.com. Anytime I make an informative video like this, I like to also have it in article form so you can come back to it without having to watch the whole video again. So be sure to check that out. I'll have it linked below if you're interested in reading about this or coming back to this information later. So the first step in using crystals for their healing properties is to find out what kind of healing properties you're looking for and picking out a crystal that matches. So a quick Google search can help you figure out the perfect crystal for your intentions. So, of course, if you're looking for love, you can rose quartz, rhodochrosite, chrysoprase, something heart chakra related. If you are looking for protection, you can use obsidian or black tourmaline. The Google search will help you find the right crystal for you. Or you can just go to a crystal store or look online and see whatever calls to you. You don't have to pick out a crystal by its healing properties. Sometimes the crystal will just speak to you, and sometimes it will be something that you didn't even know you needed. Personally, I don't really pick crystals based on their healing properties. I rarely do. I usually just pick it if it speaks to me. Tumbles are a great way to start. You can get like just a bunch of them with all sorts of different intentions. So pretty cheap, and you can just get a wide variety if you are new. And I do want to say, in my opinion, there is no such thing as a beginner-friendly crystal versus an advanced crystal. I believe that you can use whatever you want. I would say if there is an advanced crystal, it would just be like maybe moldavite because it is so powerful. But that doesn't mean you can't use those crystals as a beginner. Just make sure you're looking up what their properties are and what it can do for you so that you know what you're getting into. But there is no such thing as a crystal that is not for a beginner or a crystal that is only for advanced people. That doesn't exist. You can use whatever you want. And there is no wrong way to use crystals as long as it's safe. Like, don't do anything crazy. I've seen some crazy things. But as long as you're being safe, there's no wrong way to use crystals. You can use any combination of crystals that you like, whatever calls to you and whatever feels right for you. It is such a personal thing, so there is no like strict right or wrong way to work with your crystals. So once you have your crystals, the first step is to cleanse them. You want to get rid of any energy that they are carrying because crystals can hold and store energy. They pick up energy along their path to you. So once you get them, they are already carrying a lot of energy. So you will most likely want to cleanse them right away. Sometimes maybe when you freshly get it, you just picked it out, you may be super drawn to it, and that may mean that the energy is just right for you just as it is. So you might want to hold off on cleansing it. But as a rule, it's always a good idea to cleanse them right when you get them. There are so many different ways to cleanse your crystals, and my personal favorite is using selenite or satin spar. I really like this method because it's very simple and it works for every single crystal. This is a satin spar selenite charging plate. I also have some like long ones in my shop, but these are perfect for just setting your crystals on top of them. And selenite has a very cleansing energy, so if you just leave it on the charging plate overnight, it will be fresh and ready to go the next day. Any crystal is safe to put on top of selenite. Just be careful because selenite is soft, so it might scratch, but it is safe to use with any crystal. Another very common way to cleanse your crystals is by smoke cleansing. You can use incense or burning other herbs with cleansing properties and just run your crystal through the smoke and that will cleanse it. You can also use water or salts to cleanse your crystals. I also do love the salt method. Just get a big bowl of salt and sink them in there. I really like doing that. But be careful because not every crystal is water or salt safe. A lot of crystals aren't water safe because they are either toxic or they will break. But typically the crystals that will break in water, they don't break right away. Like, it takes a lot of water and a long time sitting for them to actually begin to be damaged. So just running your crystal over water is typically perfectly fine. Just don't let it be like soaking in there for a long time. But when it comes to things like metals like pyrite or crystals that include pyrite, such as maybe rhodochrosite or lapis, don't put those in water because pyrite cannot go in water. Another great way to cleanse and charge up your crystals is to leave them outside, like in the dirt, in the earth. Bring them back into nature. That is where they are from, and that will really cleanse and recharge their energy. You do maybe have to worry about leaving it in the sun for too long because some crystals can fade in the sun, such as amethyst, fluorite, or rose quartz. There's probably more, but those are some common crystals that will fade in the sun. But again, I think it has to be left out in the sun for quite a long time for that to happen. I take all my product pictures that I can in the sun, so all of the crystals that I sell have been exposed to the sun and I've never had an issue with them fading. So if you just want to leave them out for a little bit, that should be no problem. But just something to look out for. Don't leave it out for days and days. It might fade. Another one is Larimar. Larimar will definitely fade in the sun. I would be careful with that one. You can also use sound to cleanse your crystals. You can play healing frequencies, like on YouTube if you listen to meditation music or binaural beats. I think that's how you say that. I never have said that word out loud. Binaural beats. So if you play healing frequencies, meditation music, stuff like that, like the singing bowls, the sound bowls, that would be really cleansing for your crystals, and it would also give a really good energy to your entire house. Another thing you'll see often related to crystals is charging your crystal, which is basically the same thing as cleansing your crystal. It is refreshing its energy, resetting its energy, powering it back up again so it can continue to do work for you. So basically it's the same thing as cleansing, so you could reset it back to its own initial energy and cleanse away any old energies that it may have been holding onto. So typically a good way to charge your crystals is to leave them out during a full moon. Full moons are very powerful, but be sure, do not put your crystals out during an eclipse, or sometimes full moons have wonky energy that you do not want your crystals to, soak up. So be sure you look up your specific dates of the full moon so that you make sure you are putting them out during the right type of moon. Eclipses and some full moons have some really chaotic and unpredictable energy, and that is not the kind of energy you want your crystals to be infused with. So just be sure you look up to make sure that the astrological events are working in your favor. So the next step, once you have cleansed and or charged your crystals, is to set the intention for them. This part is so important because your crystal needs to know what you want it to do. So a lot of crystals have many different properties and many things that they can do for you. So you have to state what you would like it to do. For example, if I have this rose quartz and I am ready to use it, I would state it out loud. It can be in your head, but like stating it out loud is pretty powerful, and say, I intend for this rose quartz to bring me love. I intend for this to bring me a relationship. I am looking to manifest a specific person, and just state what you want it to do. And then trust that it is getting to work. Another thing when picking out a crystal for your intention, if you are looking to manifest a specific intention, you are looking to manifest a specific desire, the shape of your crystal actually can have significance. So I won't go into every shape here, but like a heart would be great for manifesting love. A sphere symbolizes energy in all directions. Towers are powerful because they have energy coming out of the top, and the DTs, the double terminated towers, they have energy coming out of both sides. So if you really want to give your manifestations that extra oomph, look up what the specific shapes have to do with how it can help you. So now that you have cleansed and put your intention into your crystal, what do you actually do with this crystal? Like, do you just leave it there and wait for it to do its work? Well, you can, but if you are just sitting it on a shelf, it is not going to give its fullest potential to you if you are not actively working with it. So a great way to work with a crystal every day is to wear crystal jewelry. Crystal jewelry is great, so you have it on your person all day long. You're getting all of its energy all day long, but be sure to cleanse your crystal more often if you are carrying it with you or wearing it daily, because it is getting exposed to all of those energies that you are encountering out in the world. So it might need to be cleansed more often if you are wearing it all the time. You can also meditate with your crystals. There's all sorts of ways to meditate. You can look that up. You might feel drawn to hold crystals in your hands while you meditate. You might place them around you or on you, wherever, and that can really bring some good energy into your meditation. If you don't have a specific desire in mind, some good crystals to start with meditation are clear quartz, rose quartz, smoky quartz, labradorite, amethyst, or selenite. Those are some really good ones for meditation if you are just looking for overall quality meditation and healing purposes. Also, keep your crystals under your pillow. Before you go to sleep and like when you wake up in the morning are really powerful times for manifestation, because your brain is in that state where it's really receptive. I like to do my affirmations and manifestation things like right before bed or early in the morning. So crystals can also help you with that. They are helping you while you sleep. And if you do keep crystals under your pillow while you are sleeping, it is good to keep a dream journal or keep track of your dreams when you have those crystals under your pillow. Different crystals may bring you different kinds of dreams, and you may receive messages in your dreams, so it is important to keep track of that. One of my favorite things to do is have a vision board. I love putting together a vision board, which is just I have a big like cork board full of tons of photos of like how I want my life to be, things I want to manifest, just like vibes that I want in my life. And if you have one of those, that is a great thing to incorporate crystals into. You can put your crystals around your vision board. I actually have some on my vision board right now. I used the little crystal cages and I put a tumble in the cage and push pinned it to the cork board. So there are crystals hanging on my vision board. And I feel like that is a really powerful way to boost those specific goals and desires that you have and infuse them with the energy of those crystals. Also, if you have like a photo of someone, if you want to send them good energy, you can put crystals next to their photos. If you're trying to manifest a specific person, you can have crystals next to their photo. Just like crystal jewelry, you can also carry worry stones and tumbles with you in your pocket or in your purse throughout the day. You can carry a little baggie full of tumbles, and then you have like a huge variety that you can keep with you that doesn't take up too much space. I really love worry stones. I have tons of worry stones in my shop right now, but they're kind of like tumbles, but they're flat and they're like perfectly shaped for you to be able to hold them throughout the day. I feel like these would be really good for like anxiety, or like I have ADHD, so I always want to like touch something. But again, make sure you cleanse them more often than probably your other crystals if they are out in the world with you. Another powerful way to use your crystal's energy is to make a crystal grid. I feel like crystal grids are underrated. Like, I don't see them very often, and I think they should be more popular. I think they're really cool. So crystal grids are a specific arrangement of crystals that are intended to really be very powerful and boost energy. Usually you put them together with specific crystals in a specific orientation to achieve a specific desire. There are different shapes. Usually I've made some crystal grids in the past and I used sacred geometry, and there are specific sacred geometry patterns that you use for certain intentions. I read a whole book about them a few years ago when I was making crystal grids. So if you'd like me to talk more about crystal grids, let me know, because I think they're underrated and I think more people should use them. I also used to sell crystal grid kits with my handmade like wood burned grids and a set of crystals that you could use with the grid. So let me know if you want me to bring those back. I probably will, but I'm just wondering if you guys are interested in crystal grids, because I think we need to bring crystal grids into the forefront. We need to talk about this more because they're also like beautiful. Crystal grids look beautiful. Okay, my most commonly used way to incorporate crystals into my life is through scripting and affirmations. Started doing scripting like a year or two ago, and it is absolutely my favorite way of manifesting, and it has become a daily routine for me. I do it every morning. It always starts my day on a good note. So scripting is basically, people do it in different ways, but the way I do it, it's basically just writing out what you want to happen and what your desires are in present tense. So basically you're just writing your affirmations like, I am a millionaire, I have a successful business, I am in a great relationship, I'm so happy with my life, things like that. I like to incorporate crystals into that by like having certain crystals with me while I'm sitting there doing my writing. Also, when you're just like holding your crystals, you can speak your affirmations into them, and I feel like that is so powerful. Like holding your rose quartz for your relationship, be like, I am in such a happy relationship, like I am so loved, I am so happy with the person I'm with, I am so wealthy, I am financially free, I am a successful business owner. I just feel like that is so powerful to have like the crystal with you and like speak what you want into it. I love doing that. If you're in like a situation where you are not feeling good, like if you have anxiety or something and you hold your crystal, be like, I am calm, everything's okay, I'm safe, everything is going to be fine, I am relaxed. Just holding it and speaking into it is just so powerful. I use obsidian for that, especially for like protection. If I'm ever feeling like ungrounded or weird, I like to use obsidian and just like say, I am safe, I am protected, I am fine. And of course I have to promote myself a little bit here because I just came out with a sticker set with my crystal art on it and matching affirmations, and I put them on this new journal that I just started using today that is also full of like motivational quotes. So if you want to get your own affirmation stickers for your journal, they are on my website. I also sell notebooks with my art on it. Just think they look so cute, and you can put them on like your water bottle and stuff just throughout the day to remind you to like think good thoughts, be on top of your affirmations. Crystals are also great to just place throughout your home. I have a huge chunk of black tourmaline in my room, and I feel like that really keeps my space nice and clear and positive. I of course have the big citrine on my altar space, which is great for manifesting. I keep this big obsidian right next to my bed for protection. So I keep a lot of crystals on my bedside table. Right by the door and in the corners of your house, I have a big selenite also, which cleanses the energy in my house. And the last way I'm going to talk about to use your crystals is through spells in your altar space if you have one. Personally, I don't consider myself a witch and I don't do spells, but I know in a lot of witchcraft they use crystals in the spells, and I think that is really powerful, of course. So if you are interested in doing that, find someone who specializes in spells. So I won't speak too much about it because I don't personally use that, but that is another way you can use them. I do have a warning, and I will say, do not drink crystal infused water. Do not let your crystals soak in water and then drink it, ever. Even if it's technically a water safe crystal, I would just don't do that ever. There are chemicals involved in polishing crystals. There can be small inclusions. If something has like a tiny iron inclusion and then you're drinking it, or if it like has pyrite and you're drinking it, or like little pieces fall off into the water and it like, don't buy those water bottles that have crystals, like a crystal tower sticking up in them. There are water bottles that have the crystals in their own little container that don't touch the water, and those are perfectly fine. Just make sure you're not drinking anything that has been exposed to minerals, like just not a good idea. And also, do not use those crystal pipes Don't smoke out of crystals. Like, they are very aesthetically pleasing and all, but they are very dangerous. You do not want to be inhaling small pieces of rocks and chemicals. Like, no, 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 don't use them. And if you are selling them, please reconsider selling them because it is not safe. And lastly, I want to touch on something I see people ask all of the time, which is, why isn't my crystal working? Like, I bought the crystal, why hasn't it done it yet? Like, I bought the carnelian, why am I still single? And there's a couple things, okay? First, make sure you're buying the right crystal for your intention. Make sure you're cleansing your crystal and putting your personal intention into it. And then try some of these techniques to incorporate the crystals into your life. If it is just sitting on your shelf and you never think about it again, it's probably not going to just poof these things into your life. These are my personal beliefs. If you believe that it can do that, I'm not here to tell you that it can't. These are my own personal beliefs and my own personal limiting beliefs. And if you believe that just setting it on the shelf will make things happen for you, then that's great. It's all about what you believe in. Another thing is to make sure that you believe what you're doing. Like, if you don't think crystals can actually do anything for you and you kind of have like an attitude of like, oh, well, let's see. I don't think it can do it, but maybe it will. Let's see. And you just don't take it seriously, then it's probably not going to like give you its full benefits. You truly have to believe in it and you have to trust the process. And sometimes you're just going to have to be a little patient. It might not happen for you right away because we all have our own limiting beliefs and like our own resistance to things that can slow down our manifestations. So there's a lot more to manifestation, in my opinion, than just buying the crystal, setting it on the shelf and waiting. You have to work with the crystal. I can definitely do a video going more in depth on my own beliefs around manifesting and how to properly manifest. If you guys are interested, just let me know. Lastly, it may not be working because you may be doing too much. Like, I listed a bunch of ways to incorporate crystals into your life, but you should not be doing all of these things every single day. Like, if your day is consumed with manifesting and focusing on what I want and doing all these techniques, then you are doing too much. Like, do these things as you feel called to and as it feels right to you. You should feel like excited about it instead of something like, I need to do this because I need my thing. I need it to come to me. That's like a desperate energy and that does not work in your favor. So if you're doing too much, try like relaxing a little bit and just let your manifestations have some time so they can come to you. Just be patient and maybe slow down on the technique. Anytime I've gotten obsessive over a manifestation, it does not work. Like, you gotta ease up. That's all for me today. I hope that was helpful for you if you are interested in working with crystals. Again, pretty much all that was my personal beliefs, and it's okay to do things your way and do what feels right for you. You don't have to listen to any one person who tells you, you have to do it this way. You can't mix these crystals. You have to do it in this order. Trust yourself, have fun with it, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out my website. I have lots of crystals available, jewelry, art, I have articles. It's a fun time, and if you do decide to place an order, use code YouTube for a discount. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and have a fantastic day.